Hello guys, so I'm back in the Adobe Noida office now. Yes, I left Bangalore last month and today is Monday, so I thought I will take you through my Noida office and talk about one of my new products that I'm working on. But before I do any of that, let me quickly scroll X for 10 minutes. Why do I want to do that? Well, because that's one of the only ways that I get to learn about things that I'm interested in. However, when I'm scrolling X, 9 out of 10 things that I see are just trying to grab my attention and are not super useful or curated for my interest. That's the problem with most of the social feeds. And this is why I am working on Trace. Trace is an online platform where you can create your own feed from various different sources like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Hacker News, Medium, and a bunch of other stuff. You can create a feed that contains information from all of these sources. So instead of trying to grab your attention like other social platforms, the idea with Trace is that you can get a feed which can help you stay up to date with your interest and what's happening in the outside world without trying to grab your attention. My main goal with Trace was to make sure that the user feels like they are the algorithm, like they have full control over this entire feed. Like there is no Elon Musk who's going to change the feed tomorrow and your entire feed is going to be full of racist or toxic stuff. That is the goal with Trace. Now I want to talk about how I built Trace because this was the first time I used this very trending popular thing that is going on in software engineering these days called Ralph Wiggum technique. It's basically a while loop. The way it worked for me was that first I created a big architecture file by brainstorming with ChatGPT. This file contained details of the entire architecture of my system, down to the last detail of how everything would connect and work in this feed. After that, I followed the agile method where I basically created these phases and each phase contains a bunch of tasks. These tasks are independent and they can be tested against something. The idea with Ralph Wiggum is that you are supposed to create micro tasks that are so small that an AI agent can pick any of those tasks and work on them independently. By doing so, I was able to build Trace in less than 30 minutes once I had all the architecture related things completed. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the architecture part was the hard part. It took me almost a week to come up with the entire agent's architecture as to how things are going to be connected, how your feed is going to be generated, and how the interactions that you're going to have with the feed are going to affect your tomorrow's feed, because that is very important. The idea with Trace is that it will grow with you and it will improve as you keep using it for a long period of time. I know I've talked a lot of things, so let's take a quick break and I will go have lunch and then I'll show you around the Adobe campus. I love to spend some time walking after lunch, even though the AQI here in Noida hasn't been that good over the last couple of months, but I actually still like to go out and walk after lunch. I feel this office is a lot more open and I just like this office a little better than the Bangalore office. Do let me know how you feel about these two offices, and if you haven't, feel free to watch my last video where I gave you a tour of my Bangalore office. Anyways, back to Trace. So, how can you use it? You can right now use Trace by going to yourtrace.online. The first thing that you need to do after signing in with Google is that you have to complete the onboarding. This onboarding is super important as it is the place where you are going to define your interest and things that you want to see on your feed. This is the algorithm for you. And once you have written all these things, Trace will actually spin up an AI agent that will search the internet for you and curate a feed for you. This will take a few minutes, but once those minutes are done, you'll get a feed that looks like this. However, since you haven't subscribed to the premium plan, you cannot interact with the feed. Unfortunately, running all these systems cost a lot of money, and so we have a subscription based model here in case you want to get the most out of this product. What you can do is you can subscribe for just $2.99 and you will get access to all the features of Trace as well as priority support. And the best part, you can cancel your subscription in the first 3 days and we won't charge you a single penny. Yes, you will get 3-day free trial, so feel free to subscribe and use Trace and drop me some feedback as to how you like it or what you would like to see different here. My future goal is to convert this into a mobile app on both Android and iOS so that you can access Trace from the tip of your hand at any moment. Anyways, that's a lot of things for this video. It's getting dark outside and I'm gonna head back home, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.